Catherine Waibel here in lane 7, so I'm the 50 free. As usual, I'll play the whole race and then talk about a few things afterwards. Okay, nice swimming. I know it's a little hard to see with you in the far lane there. But we'll do our best here to talk about a few things. So, on the start, by the way, you went 26.1. I've seen you go 26.1 or 2 about 50 times in the last 2 years. I really think you can go 25. I believe you've gone 25 before. It would feel so nice to finally have that 25 again. Anyways, going on to the start, you get the most airtime. So a lot of your start here, like it's pretty good reaction time even, but you're jumping more up and not as much out. Like you don't want to go straight down. But we want to think about jumping towards the flags, and here it's really more like jumping up. So we got to think about more forward. The whole time you're swimming, it should always be forward, forward, forward. That part of your race there is up. Now in a 26-second race, you got to start it as clean as possible, as efficiently as possible. You get the most airtime of anybody else in this camera frame, and yet you still didn't get your hands into a tight streamline before you hit the water. Like they are still apart right here as you're hitting the water. We got to get the arms into streamline before you hit the water. And the fact that you got this high and still not able to do that is kind of silly. But anyways, going on to the swimming part of things, nice explosive breakout, keeping the head down. We're barreling along. Now I want you to notice, I know it's a little splashy, hard to see, I want you to notice where your arm is hitting the water, right there. So again, I understand it's hard to see, but you'll notice here, your arm is very bent, you're hitting just above your head. We got to really, really reach in front of us before we hit the water. Instead, either you're hitting the water by your head and just pulling straight from there, so you're not pulling a whole lot of water, or you're hitting the water by your head and then fighting the water all the way to be fully extended and then pulling from there. But all that time and energy you're using to get into position now fighting that water forward is really inefficient and really putting you at a disadvantage. You do maintain a high tempo both with the arms and the kick throughout, but we got to be more efficient here with the stroke. Now this is a little bit better stroke on the breakout, but as we start to barrel along throughout the race, it gets shorter and shorter. Now, speaking of the breakout, you're pushing off the wall here, and you somehow manage to break out here. Now, where this blue becomes yellow is where the flags are. And so you'll notice here, like your first stroke is essentially before the flags. You're taking it as you're crossing the flags. You can probably literally just push off the wall and streamline past the flags without any effort, literally besides pushing off the wall. Now, you are not the best underwater dolphin kicker on the team or in the world or whatever. So I'm not expecting you to just blast it underwater, but we got to just push off in a nice tight streamline and get something out of it, because here it's almost like you are swimming the next 25 yards. Like there was no underwater to it. It's literally a 25-yard sprint from this point on. Swimming is not easy. When you put yourself at this position where you got to swim the whole rest of the length, it's really tiring. When you're fighting that water up front because you enter so early, that's really tiring and inefficient. So while it's nice and consistent that we've been 26 low so many times, it is very, very possible that you can go 25 consistently. We just got to make a couple of these adjustments and we'll be there no problem.